Got money, retarded. Don't want her if it don't clap when she walk. Ain't too pretty in the face, but she's super thin.
Good morning, everyone. Or is it afternoon? I don't even know yet. Nope, it's still morning. How is everybody doing? I thought I would get on here because I did post my video about a week ago almost, and I haven't let me fix this window, honey. And I had dropped back in because all the hustle and bustle I've been doing. So I did say I would update you all as to what happened with our discussion around the CDL and things of that nature. So like I said to you all, I did go ahead and I did get my CDL Class A. I went to Missouri to get the CDL with the company, and it's a major company. I might share it, I might not, I don't know, and kind of give my experience. But there's a lot of companies, a lot of YouTube videos on there around this particular company. But I did go get my Class A CDL. Of course, with this company, you do have to have your tanker endorsement, and then at some point I could decide if I want to add the hazmat or anything of that nature. I didn't, just because I don't feel like doing all that, and then you have to make an appointment to be able to come in and take your fingerprints and all that, and being at times of the essence, I really didn't, or at least I'm waiting on an additional or a trainer to come out into our on the road training. So I'm stopped home to do that aspect of it. And of course I had some little things that I needed to take care of that I wasn't able to take care of when I was in Missouri for the month that I was in Missouri. So I did change the name of the channel. It's no longer Box Truck Diva Dana, because I am no longer doing box trucks. I'm not gonna say I'm not doing box trucks, but at this moment I do want to focus on semis and things of that nature. I may still have box trucks within the business or whatever, just because they're good for shorter local runs versus over the road. And not to say that there's nothing wrong with box trucks, but to me, just for comfortability, I would prefer to be in a tractor or a semi. Just for, of course, with the DOT with the compliance, being in compliance with your DOT, and you can't really sleep in a box truck for the most part, and then it's just uncomfortable. Really, that's my main reason for wanting just to go ahead and get the CDL and do it, is just that comfortability of being able to have an area to where I can sleep, especially as a female. Like, the box truck was cool, don't get me wrong, I had the long seat, but it still was just uncomfortable. And after a while doing that, you like, yeah, no. So it did take me a while. I was supposed to go and do this in I think November, but some things happened and I wasn't able to do it. But everything happens for a reason. So last month, well, actually no, in January, I have to have a service done at my store. And with me having that service completed, the guy who was doing it seen that the foundation on the store was collapsing underneath us, and that it was in very dangerous, deplorable conditions. So he actually didn't do the service because he didn't feel comfortable doing, going underneath the building to do whatever, because of the foundation that was, what was going on underneath the foundation. So in other words, our bathroom floor was pretty much dry rotting, and because I'm not a heavy person, it felt funny, but it wasn't something where it was just so noticeable. Like, as soon as I walked in, I felt a dip or anything like that, but you could tell there was some issues. So of course, with him declining to do the service, I wasn't able to have my water services at the building, or at least they were going to cut them off. And being that I couldn't get anybody to come out to do it, I had to have, I called the owners of that in particular location that I work out of here in Conyers, and had them to let them know that there's some issues and I'm not able to have water, so they're gonna have to come and fix this foundation or whatever, or seat. So to make a long story short, we end up having to move all the way out the building because they were not able to do it with it being open. They weren't able to go underneath and complete the task. They have to go from the top to, from the top down. So they had to tear all my flooring out, pretty much gut the building. So as of February, I told them, the end of February, I let them know that, hey, because they told me I had to move, I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the whole month of March to, fix it and get it together. And then that way I can just go ahead and do the CDL school, knock that out in a month. And then, if I decide that that's something that I still want to do when I come back, then I'll go ahead and re-sign my lease, and I'll put somebody into the store. Well, this is the end of March, and they still have not completed, what they were supposed to do. So pretty much the whole month of February and the whole month of March, I have not been operating the business because of the situation with the water. And then, of course, us trying to move out so they could be able to come in and do their job. And so at this point now, when I just went over there today to collect my mail, it doesn't appear that they haven't done anything to the building. So everything worked out. I was able to go ahead and go to Missouri, take the CDL course or whatever it is. It took about 2 weeks for me to actually get the information to be able to learn how to back and all of that. It was another 2 weeks for their orientation and things of that nature, because like I told you guys before, I don't want to put my own authority at risk as being a new tractor trailer driver. I would prefer to learn with another company. So that's what I did, and that company does actually have power only. So at this point, once I decide to go and do my own authority, I can then go ahead and do actually they have a couple of different options. They have, of course, the lease purchase or the lease on, so I can still run my own business. It won't be my own authority, or I can run underneath my own authority doing their power only with their power only contract. So that was why I picked that company, just because they pay for your training, or they pay while you train. 2, they have either where I could do the lease purchase, or not the lease, but the lease or whatever it is, or I could do the power only with that company. So I decided to go with that company when it comes to their running, or driving their trucks. So as of now, I'm waiting on a trainer to, somebody in my area, because the trainers that they have only are in your area. So when they're ready to go home, you can go home as well, or be closer to home. I love the color of that gray color Mercedes, BMW, whatever the car it is. But these new cars have that gray color, like the original, whatever you call it. I can't even think of what it's called, but you know how when before they put paint or anything on the cars, that original gray color that's on the car, usually on the metal, that's the colors that they have now. And I think it's so pretty. There's a Jeep that's sitting next to me now, because I am at the DMV. So this color here, if y'all can see it, I'm not for sure, but whatever this gray color is, I'm at the DMV now. I just picked up my CDL because I tested one and done on last Monday on the 21st, and I came back on Friday. I came back home on Wednesday.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you? I love the color of y'all's car. What color is that?
They say it's charcoal gray.
Charcoal gray. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So charcoal gray is what they saying it is. But I tested out on the 21st. On Wednesday, I came home and I came to the driver services to pick up my CDL Friday, but of course they didn't have the testing in, so I had to come back again today on Tuesday, because they were actually closed on Monday. So I'm sitting in the parking lot about to make my next move. I gotta stop and do some runs before I go back home. But I didn't want to let this day go by without actually tapping in with y'all and letting y'all know what's good in the hood, and let y'all know that your girl got her CDL. And now the next step is just getting out on the road training. All right, y'all.